G'day, I'm Kate Grarach. How are you? I'm out on Ewan country and I've just been looking at the Google Maps and found a really beautiful looking section of river, and I'm out trying to find it and see if we can get there. I'm here with my mate Erin. This is Erin.
Hello.
She's from Melbourne. So it's really nice to get on trail and just have a good old chat and a catch up. I think life's been pretty busy for both of us and it's just so nice to reconnect. What a beautiful spot to do it. We're trying to find a half decent spot to cross the river without going arse over tit. It's moments like these I wish I had my pack raft. Almost back at the car, I think. I've checked the weather forecast for where we're staying and all the way at the top of the catchment here, because I'm pretty keen to camp right on the river, and obviously that has its dangers. If there was some flooding or rain upstream, you can get some pretty scary shifts in the river height. Hiking with Dr. Rock. Thanks, Kate, for stirring up all the mud so I can't see where I'm going. I love this part of, like, you look at the hills here and they're so dry, and then there's just this oasis of water here. It's so beautiful, hey? So this is not quite the beautiful soft sand walking that we had pictured, but it'll make the beer taste nicer.
Shocking turn of events. Kate's taken us on an adventure.
So we've just had to climb up here, get a little vantage point because the river sort of drops away quite swiftly there. This is what I hope most of the walking would be like. It's nice sand walking. It's been some hard going early on, but I think both Erin and I are feeling really happy. It's just starting to, the walking's getting a little bit easier, and it's just this magnificent sunny day and the water's glistening.
How's this?
Well, I think we're getting happier and happier by the minute. This is a sweet little waterfall, maybe, what do you reckon, metre and a half? I guess in total a couple of metres. Wouldn't mind camping here, but it's a bit of a private property that's backing onto this, so probably don't want to get too close to them. So the task now is to try and find somewhere that's suitable to camp. This is beautiful, this pool. Oh, This is the most exciting part about exploring a river, is you never know what's around the next corner or what's over the next little rise. Like, as we're approaching here, we can start to hear rapids getting louder and louder. It's like, oh, is there going to be some cool waterfall, or what's over this rise? Looking at all this rock strata and how bended and folded and twisted it is, it's the geology is just spectacular. Ancient landscape. We're still deep in the struggle of very, very slow going. It is beautiful, but I think both of us agree that we're starting to get towards a point where we'd like to find a nice campsite.
Where are we, Kate? Ah.
I keep losing Erin. There you are, hello! And the river's over that way somewhere. We got to get over to it, because bashing through this is not much fun. We've found our first potential campsite. Nice flat sand, beautiful rock escarpment next door. But we're just going to sneak a little bit further upriver. This is me and my obsession with beautiful campsites. Oh my god, it is pretty nice. Hey, look at it. It's pretty good, Erin. It's a definite nice fallback. How much energy? How much energy do we have? Oh, that looks like a nice swim spot too. Oh. This is what I pictured my site on Alone being like. Yes, wasn't quite. So, the spot on my map I had marked is about 150 metres from this spot. But Erin's it's just been a long day, ups and downs, rock hopping, and so she's just having a little break. So I've just gone to scout it out. I think it's just such a headache. It's like 2 seconds of beautiful walking, and then it's just like, oh, scaling, bush bashing, rock hopping, mud slips. Never disappoints, eh?
So I got sick of walking and I just sat down here, and Kate's going to walk the 150 metres, she reckons, to the perfect campsite. Yet to hear back from her. Let's see if she finds it or if we end up back where we were 2 minutes ago.
So I've made it to the spot, and it's pretty bloody magnificent. I think I will drop my pack and go back and get Erin, and hopefully she's happy to come down. So I'm on my way back to Erin, but I'm at that tired point in the hike where you just get a little bit lazy with your foot placement, and so I'm trying to slow it down a bit, because wait, there you go. This is when accidents happen.
So Kate says to follow her. Let's see what happens.
I'm reunited with Erin, and absolutely that first campsite is stunning, but being the dickhead that I am, we're going to try and push for this other one. So much nicer not doing this in winter. I hope you like this campsite now. You'll be like, mate, this sucks.
This is definitely the best place we've seen to cross it.
I know. How good is that?
And then we're on this side for tomorrow.
We are campsite homeward bound. Yeehaw! I think. We might get, oh, we're gonna have the best fire. It's gonna get cold! Oh man, I love being outdoors. Made it across the river. Now we're just looking for a little bit of a flat spot, which I think will be just up on this hill. Hopefully. now that I've dragged her across the river. I hope there's a decent spot to camp. Got a pretty small footprint, so I can just chuck it anywhere.
I think I've made this a lot worse.
Boom! This is our waterfront apartment, and what I'm going to do is just chuck our little beeries sunnies off. I'm loving these sunnies. They weigh like 20 grams, and well, I'm a gram canner and that's important, but mostly it's just because I can't even feel them on my face. A little puff. Perfect. Beautiful. I've cooled down a little bit and I'm not that keen to swim, but Erin says I have to swim, so I'm going to swim. This is what I have friends like you for. I have this odd fear of water bodies. I'm such a wuss when it comes to water bodies. Like, I watched this kids movie when I was a little kid and it scared the willies out of me. Cheers. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, Erin.
Let's do it. Cheers.
Ka-ching!
We made it.
That's why our beers are so nice and cold.
This is a terrible idea.
You'll just sit there and just wash your bits and bobs.
Oh wow, it's so big! Oh my god, you're gonna get floated away! Oh, I'm getting pulled away! There it is.
Quite cold on that.
It is cold.
Last time Erin and I went paddling, I'm trying to tell this story but I'm out of breath. Last time Erin and I went paddling on the river, we had the little yellow, like, what is it, canoe? Plastic canoe. Middle of winter, river, hit a rapid. Erin gets flopped out into this pool of water, and her eyes, she just turns at me with these bulging eyes. What do I do? What do I do? I like swim to the river edge. And I thought that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Until like 2 seconds later, when I get flipped out, and then the freezingness of that water just numbs your brain.
Yeah, totally.
For liberty, Fernando. Cheers! Woo!
Yeah, we made it.
We made it. This is definite prime platypus.
Something there. What about eels, Kate? How do you feel about those?
We should get a line in and have a crack. That'll do, pig. There we go. Took longer than it should have. Thanks, mate. We are good. No, you're right. My little pile. Just doing the lazy method. It's so much easier when it's not sodden. It's time for a little bit of food action slash Gatorade goodness. Oh, I'm lashing out on some crazy fun food. Oh yeah, I've got my radix for dinner. I always I always bring soup because I'm like, oh yeah, when I get into camp I want a soup. I'm like, by the time you get into camp you just want to eat dinner and go to bed. Boom. Game on. It's a cracker, hey? Where's our platypus? Whoa, yeah, baby. That was mental. Oh my God. Hello, new stove. Hello, new stove. That is cool. All right, that's just under 300. Oh, hang on, sorry, I got smoked.
Don't do that.
This is why I love these meals. They're just so freaking easy.
So good.
Yeah. Give it a stir, I think, then seal it up for 5 minutes or something. Falafel, Turkish. I don't think I've ever had this one. I reckon I've had yours. It's good. Spoon. Wiggle, wiggle.
It tastes like a lot.
Smoky, it just tastes real smoky. All right, falafel. Let's get into it. Definitely tastes like falafel. How bloody cool is this thing? This is a little temperature gauge that I'm keen to start using because, you know, I always look up the weather, but sometimes when you're sitting in certain conditions, you're like, oh, how bloody cold is this? I'm sitting up here on a little ledge overlooking this pool. I always do a heap of research before I come on a hike, just so I know the conditions and things like that. And the nearest town, it said it was going to be 9 degrees, which I'm like, that's pretty warm. Currently saying that it's -1 degrees. So that's a very big difference from 9 degrees. Gonna make a little coffee and I'm gonna watch the sunrise. Oh, it's so cold, but it's so good. Oh, I'm feeling all snuggly. I'm loving that new sort of Greek method that I'm using. Oh man, this is just what I needed. I haven't been for a hike for ages and, you know, it's so good for my mental health. And my nana died this week, which was not unexpected, but just still really sad. I think the best way to describe it is my world just feels a little bit less magical without her in it. She was just this absolute doting grandmother. She was incredible. finish off my coffee now, and then I'm going to chuck on some shoes and I'm going to explore downstream a little bit because I'm just always curious to see what's around the next bend. And then I'll come back and have brekkie with Erin. How beautiful these trees. It's like steam. It's wild. It actually feels warm. I just love exploring Australia's wild rivers. Wow. How amazing is this section of river? Literally this huge rock slab is just cutting the entire river in half and pushing it through this little crack here. I'd love to see it with a 6-metre water level. It would just be pounding through there. Huh. Wow. I'm finding it really hard to turn back. I just want to keep going. Anyway, I'll have to get that pack raft back out and keep exploring this area. Oh, that sun on my back is just so beautiful and warm. Boom. So I'm going to let it brew up. That'll give it a bit of a roasty flavour. I think, woo, hello. Good morning, Erin. So my water treatment's really slowed down. I'm going to do a quick little back flush. That's why I love this coupling device. Just unscrew this guy. Quick little backwash. Sweet.
Yum.
Yum. Sand, sand everywhere. Kiddoke, we are all packed up, done a little scout around, we've left nothing behind, and we're about to head off on the other side of the river.
Yeah. Oh. Do the other side of the river, they said.
Tired legs. What is it? This bank's so much easier.
We all knew that was a lie.
Yeah.
We had to get through the day though.
It'll be smooth sailing from here. We've come up around this sort of cliff line that was jutting into the water, and we're very, very high, and so now we need to get back down to the river safely. We got so high up on that cliff and then it started to sort of cliff out on us. But I think we found a little chute back down to the river.
There's the river. There's the cave.
That's pretty weird, right? Is that a goose?
Oh wow!
It really like launched at me when it saw me. I just stumbled across this goose. Is it a goose? Hello. You're very beautiful. Oh my god, it just looks so intelligent. And a goose. Duck, duck, goose. Did you see one? Really? I think this is probably going to be lunch on the trail. They're being melted. And the barbecue crunch is a winner. We've made it here. We found a really nice spot to cross the river up here, so we're going to take that opportunity. Goat. Come on.
Freaking just behind the tree. Where'd the goats go? Show us where to go.
Yeah. We are back up the little tributary and just going to follow this up back to the car. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I love all the comments. I'll catch you on the next one. Oops.